apparently also is a base to trekking to the Kanchendzonga National Park. So we started a small initiative called Zero Waste Himalaya or Zero Waste Trekking Trail, and I'll be sharing our experiences about the waste management initiative that we have done in this trekking trail in Kanchendzonga National Park in western part of Sikkim. Next. So most of you know Mount Kanchendzonga, which is the third highest mountain in the world, which is also considered as a sacred mountain, the chief protected deity of Sikkim. It's just not the mountain, but it is the protected deity of Sikkim, because of which from Sikkim side, if anyone is allowed to climb Mount Kanchendzonga, they cannot go to the summit. They'll have to climb 30 meters below the summit, because it's a sacred mountain, so you cannot climb on top of it. I'm giving you the background as to what led to starting the Zero Waste Initiative by KCC. Thanks, please. So Sikkim, the Kanchendzonga Joksam Trekking Trail, which is inside the Kanchendzonga National Park, is one of the famous and one of the most beautiful trekking trails in Sikkim. It's also one of the most beautiful high altitude trekking area. So if you look at the tourism scenario in Sikkim, Sikkim was opened up for tourism in 1992. But then there was a lot of restriction coming to Sikkim. In 1992, if the foreigners wanted to come to Sikkim, then you will have to apply for a permit in Home Ministry in Delhi and wait for 1.5 years, 2 years, and even not really sure whether you will get permit to come to Sikkim or not, because Sikkim till 1975 was independent country, and after it became part of India in 75, so they opened up Sikkim for trekking in 1992 for tourists. And in 1992, with the economic liberalization, the trekking system, the permit system for visiting foreigners to Sikkim was relaxed. So it is easy for people to come to Sikkim, to visit Sikkim. Similarly, when the permit system was made easy, there were many people coming to Sikkim to visit and especially to do trekking inside the Kanchendzonga National Park. So when the number of visitors, if we look at the history of trekking inside the national park, since it's a sacred place, all the hills are sacred, all the lakes are sacred, all the streams are sacred. Many people go, the local people, the Sikkimese people go up to the Kanchendzonga area for pilgrimage purposes, holy purposes. But then the real trekking inside the national park started sometime in 1957-58, when Sherpa Tenzing Norgay, after climbing Mount Everest, started a mountaineering institute in Darjeeling called HMI, the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, where many young officers and jawans of Indian armies were trained for mountaineering purposes, as well as local people who are interested in adventures. They were trained. So trekking, the history of trekking, if you see inside the national park, it starts from 1957-58, but the real impact from tourism, trekking tourism, starts only after 1992, when the number of visitors going to national park increases tenfold. There was problem in Nepal, there was problem in Kashmir, and also problem in neighboring states of Darjeeling districts, where people used to go for trek in the Singalila range. So when all these problems started to happen, people started coming to Sikkim. So when number of visitors started to increase, then you can obviously see different negative impact of tourism started to manifest. And one of the major problem that we saw was garbage, increase in the number of garbage. Next, please, love. Then, the first trekking trail cleaning up campaign was organized by KCC in 1987, because many visitors going to the national park and coming back and saying that the trekking trail is dirty, it's littered with garbage, the campsites are dirty, littered with garbage. Then we decided, what do we do? Since there was no one coming forward to do anything to address this problem. Then we, as a KCC member, school teachers, school student, then tourism service providers like porters, guides, pack animal operator. We all came together and decided to do the first cleaning up campaign of the trekking trail in 1987. Then almost 20-25 volunteers with tongs and bags went off for trekking to clean up the trek. And when we went to clean up a trek in 1987, ultimately we brought back, like papers and all. Those days we were not really sure what to do with it. We burned it down. Plastics also, we burned it down up there in the mountain only. And all the solid waste, the tins, batteries, cloths, shoes, torn up shoes, all these things were brought down, and ultimately we brought back around 340 kilograms of garbages, The biggest problem with the cleaning of the trekking trail was as you are climbing higher up into the high altitude, every time you'll have to go down to pick it up, with the high altitude. It's a big, difficult task to do. And the worst part is that trekking trails you find some litters, but when you go to a launch spot, it looks clean. When you go and see, the launch spot looks clean. But when you go further and look down the cliff, all the garbages are down there. People, to make the place look clean, they either put it inside the rock or throw it down the cliff. And these guys, they'll have to go down the cliff, slippery, difficult, rocky, where you'll have to collect these garbages and then bring it up and then crush it like tin and all. You'll have to crush it for making it packaging better so that we can bring it down. Yes, that was the first trekking trail cleanup campaign organized by KCC. This was followed by series of trekking trail cleanup campaigns. Then the tourism department came in saying that we will also clean the trekking trail. Then there was another department coming in. Like this was like then the Sikkim Mountaineering Association, they wanted to clean the trekking trail. There was some money from the government, for cleaning the trekking trail. And good or worse, there are foreigners coming over, organizing trekking trail cleanup campaign. There was a guy called Mr. Uli from Switzerland, very passionate man. He did twice, trekking trail cleanup twice. All over newspapers saying that Mr. Uli from Switzerland came, he organized trekking trail cleanup campaign, and so much of garbage was generated, brought back for recycling, So then we seriously thought that, okay, if people from outside are coming and cleaning our trekking trail, there has to be a solution. And cleaning trekking trail every time is not the solution. There has to be something which is sustainable. There has to be a process where cleaning is not needed. That's where the zero waste trekking trail comes. Next, please. So here some school teachers, government secondary school Yoksam, teachers and students also, they made a project. They went for trekking trail cleanup campaign. Total of 300 people participated, including school children, teachers, 5 trucks of garbages. 400 kilograms of recyclable items. They went up, they brought back garbage in the soccer ground. It was displayed. The local TV channel was there showing how many garbage is generated. And then this guy also tried to make an effort, like Uncle Chips packet, kurkure, and some of these packages, when they brought it back, they cleaned it, packed it, and then this headmaster and teachers wanted to write it to the brand ambassador of this product, like Uncle Chips, the Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Juhi Chawla. They are endorsing this product, and they are packing it. They are saying that the things that you are endorsing is, since you are endorsing it, people are consuming it so much, But then problem is that they are bringing this stuff in our place and throwing it everywhere. Could you kindly tell the company that you are endorsing your product to take this back from wherever it comes? He tried to write this, and he tried to package it and send a small packet to these ambassadors back. Please take this and tell them to take everything that they are selling it up. But then like that didn't really work much. So then we decided that there has to be a permanent solution, and So these are the trekking seasons. We have got 2 trekking seasons. These are the number of visitors, that the number of groups that we get. One is like January, February, March, April, and May. The other season is June, July, August, September, October, and November. These are the 2 major trekking seasons in Sikkim. And the number of groups that we try to project, like as much as like 150, 60 groups of trekkers come. The number of groups varies from 6 to 25, 30. Now there are certain companies which are bringing 40, 50 people in one group. And most of the time the problem with the trekking group is that since in the high altitude you will not get anything to buy, everything is packaged. In trek, everything is packaged. Everything is packaged food that you serve to the tourists. And also another problem with the tourists is that you have got 4, 5, 6 course of meal. You know, different course of meal means like this more addition to the garbage to our mountain area. Next. These are the kind of garbage that is being generated, and majority if you see is like plastics. Maggie, Uncle Chips, you know, biscuit wrappers, toffee wrappers. The majority of them. There are a certain number of tins, because baked tins, tin meat, tin foods. They also have glasses also, like 12%, 70% tin cans and tins. This is the figure that we have got from whatever they brought it down, and we have this recycling unit. And these are from this recycle unit, the figures that we have got from the recycle unit.
By weight or volume?
By volume. Next. So then we decided that we sat with all the tourism stakeholders like porters, guides, pack animal operators, local level government. The lead was done by KCC. Then we decided to sit together and say that what is the solution forward? Since cleaning up, every time you clean up trekking trail, people will go litter it. You clean it, again they will litter it. What is the permanent solution to it? Then we sat together, and there was a lot of input from all these people that what should be done. Next. Then we came up with this kind of checklist. There were so many checklists. What are the items that normally tourists carry? Different items, but then like all the items, if you write it down, you know, the checklist will be so long. So these are the, then we decided that we'll make a checklist of things that are going inside with the group, and then we'll make sure that while going inside the national park, they will declare whatever whatever they are taking inside, you know, and then when they declare it, they will sign, and one portion they will take it with the guide or the team leader. While coming back, they will have to bring whatever they have declared before, and then it has to match the things like how many tins you are carrying, how many Maggie packet you are carrying, you know, how many batteries you are carrying. Everything is to be declared and checked. Then, like normally in a group of 4 or in a group of 6, how many packaged food that you normally carry on an average that you have. In a peak season, if you have 10, 15 groups going for a trek, you cannot check everyone, you know. But then like we normally like randomly we check according to the declaration that they make, we randomly check and then see. Then we segregate it into plastic, rubber bottles, etc. Glass tube, tins and cans, plastics, Tetra packs, milk, especially milk and cold drinks, cartoons and bags, any other. So these are the general category that you have done. You know, these are the lists that we have come up with. After going through like 20, 30 lists, we came down to this one. Then we said that, okay, from next trekking season, we will have this checklist, and we will ensure that every person going for a trek inside the national park will have to make a declaration with this. Since we are just a community-based organization, we do not have any legal authority to impose them to follow this regulation. We made National Park a partner to it, the Kanchendzonga National Park Authority, a partner to this project. Then when the National Park people are looped into this project, then the fine system comes. If somebody goes and defaults, then the park authority can fine them. If you are not brought down, bring down the things that you have declared, a fine up to 5,000 is levied. So this is like the punishment that you have if you do not bring back whatever things that you carry forward. So this was the first workshop that we did. Next, please. Then we invited Forest Minister and Tourist Minister, because National Park belongs to the Forest Department and tourism is controlled by the Tourism Department. Tourism Secretary, Tourism Department Secretary, Forest Minister, local area MLA and everyone. We had a big workshop in Yuksam saying that from next time we are going to introduce this zero waste to declaring the waste at the base of the trekking trail so that they can bring back everything that they take up. Then we also made like 7-8 drums like this for different items, so that when they bring back the garbage down to Yuksam, the different item will go to different bins. Next, this is the National Park Check Post. When you go up for trekking, there is a place where you pay fee to go inside the national park, which also include environmental fee. And this is the place where you will have to declare everything. The national. Now, previously we had one person checking declaration, filling of declaration form and checking it whether it's coming back or not. Previously it was like there was a funding for 1 year, but unfortunately that funding got exhausted. That person is now no more. But then the forest check post official ensures that the group who are going inside, they declare whatever things they are taking inside, and also make sure they bring back whatever they have taken, whatever they are taking in. Next. So these are the bins, different like metals, bottles, robes, cloth, paper, books, plastic wrappers. These are the different segregation bin where you're supposed to bring it back and put it into different bins. Next. Then after these bins, we have employed, KCC have employed one guy who will bring all this garbage in a wheelbarrow to a nearby resource recovery center. We are calling it resource recovery center. This is a building of tourism department. It was unused building, and when tourism minister came to attend this workshop and the secretary, we requested that since the building is empty, could you kindly let us use this building for making our resource recovery center. And once this garbage are brought from this, all this dirty garbage are brought from this in a wheelbarrow, this guy, still we have this guy, then once he brings in, next line, then he clean everything. He clean everything. All the things are clean and then like segregated differently. Like we have got tobacco or packets or Maggie wrappers, tins, rubbers, shoes, clothes. So then separately they are segregated into like, we have made segregation area like this. And once you go in, it doesn't smell bad because they're all clean. Once you go in, it's a beautiful place and everything is like beautifully clean and kept, nicely kept. And this is like, normally when you say, I'll take you to a garbage center, people say, oh, maybe so dirty and so bad. But surprisingly, when you go in here, it's like clean and no smell at all. Yeah. So from here, like these are segregated. Different papers, tins, bottles are segregated, and those which are recyclable that we sell, like tins and all. There's this person who comes and tins and jerrycans. These are the things that they those which are recyclable, we recycle. Sell it to the person who come to buy this. Next. Next. So for the non-biodegradable, we have like glass, plastic bottle, card boxes. There is like reusable. Those which are reusable, we reuse it. Those which are recyclable, we recycle it. And there are certain certain things which we cannot recycle and reuse, that we don't know what to do with it. We have kept it at the center, at the segregation center. Okay, next. These are the principles that everyone knows of zero waste. What are things? Reuse, recycle, reduce, repair, and reject also. Then since this zero waste initiative was only done in a trekking area, we also decided to do it for a village Yuksam village as a whole, you know. And then the suggested mechanism that we were thinking was segregation, biodegradable, non-biodegradable hazardous. Then biodegradable can be done in on-site daily or off-site daily, and from here which can be sent to resource recovery center, and from resource recovery center, which will be located in the middle of the village, they'll go to the from there it'll go to the farming, market, recycling, containment, and then for non-biodegradable, this has to be transported to the dumping site once in a week. This was the mechanism that we were thinking for the village. Next slide. And like kurkure and like multi-layered plastic, you cannot recycle it or you cannot sell it. People don't buy it. So what we do is like we shred them and make these cushions. Yeah, and there was a lot of demand. Like Mr. Sodhi, Prabhjot Singh Sodhi from Small Grant Program UNDP, he was saying, you send me thousands, I'll take it to US and sell it. You know? Yeah, so these are like cushion, but then the shredding is a problem. But then they make beautiful cushion like this. And also they also make, along with the maize husk, they also make beautiful mat from this toffee wrappers or from kurkure packet or Maggi packet. Next slide. These are some of the waste product that they are locally doing it. Yeah, as a handicraft, Yeah. Yeah, these are some other handicraft that they are producing it. And one of the interesting things that we also our volunteers have done is this pen made from rough paper. Like these were lotteries which is lying there, and they make doll pen. There's a lot of demand for this. In a workshop, in a government workshop, they say supply us quite a lot of this, and this is easy to make also. You just have to put Fevicol and then wrap it, and then it makes a beautiful doll pen. Something like this kind of small thing that we try to do. Next one. Yeah, from rice sacks, they make a wonderful bags which you can actually sell them, and also pencil bags, beautiful pencil bag they are making and they are selling it. People, there's a demand, high demand. Yeah, and then like one of the things that I also would like to share, like after this zero waste initiative that we did in Yuksam, that led to a regional workshop on zero waste in Gangtok, where they were participants from Bhutan, Nepal, entire northeast state, Darjeeling district, which was the first regional workshop on zero as to how we can address the waste management, for the waste management. And another thing that we have also seen is that we have got big mela, there's a big festivals where gathering like thousands of people gather, like Maghe Mela is one of the biggest festivals where people come. It's normally coincide with a lot of after harvest season where they bring all this locally product for this 2-3 day gathering. And they also people try to like in a hotel, there's this temporary restaurant that they make to cater to the people. What they do is like they request hoteliers not to bring paper plates or plastic glasses. They are requesting that they should use metal plates and plastic plates, or which is reusable, and then glasses for drinking water. Also, in a monastery, when someone dies, there's a tongche. Tongche is like 1,000 lamps that you make for deceased person. Tongchets, yeah. And in tongchets, like there's a lot of offering of chokes. And this offering is mostly kurkure, uncle chips, biscuits, huge pile. Yeah, and one of the premier monasteries, Pema Monastery, where every single day they have tongchets. People are dying and there's a lot of offering. And then recently, this zero waste initiative, they had a dialogue with the monks of the Pema Monastery, and they decided that okay, this monastery is going to be zero waste monastery. From next time, you can bring fruits, you can bring traditional food, no packaged food at all. Okay, so these are the these are some of the initiatives that is happening in Sikkim, and I'm glad to share this with all of you. Thank you so much.